Okay, you want to head north onto Row, and that'll take you, up to Route 50. And now Route 50 will take you across the Chesapeake and onto the Bay Bridge, and... Wait, how'd you get to the marina? Oh, wait a second. I'll call you back. Welcome to Brows Held High. Let's talk about Gus Van Sant.
He's a filmmaker devoted to stories of alienated young men, be it in his tragic breakout hit, Drugstore Cowboys, his surreal Shakespeare adaptation, My Own Private Idaho, or even in his more mainstream works like Good Will Hunting and Milk. He's one of the Sundance generation's greatest breakouts, giving the world not only Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, but also this line.
You're the man now, dog.
In 2003, after a stint in the mainstream, Van Sant returned to the art house with his Death Trilogy. 3 films based on real deaths.
2 of them were based on well-publicized deaths. Elephant being derived from the Columbine shootings, and Last Days covering Kurt Cobain's suicide.
The film we're looking at today is about the death of Daniel Coughlin, who was killed by his friend Rafi Kadikian after the two became lost in the New Mexico desert. The film is simply called Gerry. Well, this is a pleasant...
Fuck, Gerry, fuckery, fucking Gerry, fuckery, fuck.
Oh,
fuck,
hi,
fuck,
Lupa.
Gerry, fuck, Gerry. I am not in the mood for the room quotes right now.
Fine, that's a...
Stop.
It's a pleasure finally meeting you.
What the hell do you think you're doing? I hate Gerry. You can't review Gerry.
Sure I can. It's a bad movie. It's up our particular alley.
What alley? No alleys. This is not about alleys. This is about a vacuum of a movie. Nothing happens in it.
Oh, come now. Nothing happened in 13 seconds, so that didn't stop you, did it?
13 Seconds is Gangs of New York compared to Gerry. It's a dank existential void. It's pretentious. It's ponderous.
It's perfect.
Owen, you're insane.
I'm not. I've just been down some dark cinematic paths. And I've emerged on the other side to a strange new enlightenment, like sunshine from an unfamiliar star. I've experienced films beyond language, beyond plot, beyond the comforting consequences of logic, and what you call insanity, I call the vanguard of internet criticism.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Fine then.
You're on your own.
Well, bye. Have fun watching your little karate flicks. Lupa doesn't like me. Anyway, let's sit down to Gus Van Sant's Gerry.
You know, it was surprisingly hard to find a copy. All the stores I went to said that their copies of Gerry were stolen by North Irishmen in black masks. Nah, DC suburbs are weird. Wow, that car's trucking right along, isn't it? Just keeps going. Uh-oh. That car is a Mercedes! I hate blatant product placement, don't you?
Well, yes, I know I'm reaching, but give me something.
Oh wait, a truck. Oh please stop. No, take me with you!
Lupa? Please come back.
So after a 3-minute shot of a car driving, we finally see the 2 schmucks who got roped into this gig. Academy Award winner Matt Damon, and relation to an Academy Award winner, Casey Affleck. They serve as our intrepid heroes, 2 young men named Gerry and... Gerry.
Gerry.
They get an introductory shot that lasts, and lasts, and lasts. One thing these long takes do is force you to really examine the shot, focusing on small details, like how badly their car window needs washing.
It's kind of like climbing a mountain. When you're trying to scale a completely flat surface, even the smallest imperfection can become a lifesaver.
They go out onto the trail. Oh, another minor thing you pick up? Affleck has a star on his chest. Is Van Sant showing that he should be a star? Or maybe Affleck is just showing solidarity with the Sniches. Matt Damon goes to a bush and does his impression of Gus Van Sant's credibility. The only other people in the film walk by in the background, and the 2 Gerrys decide to take a shortcut to see, quote, the thing at the end of the trail.
Glad someone's having fun.
Fuck it, dude. Fuck this.
Fuck the thing?
Fuck the thing.
Power on to the thing!
Fuck the thing.
Fuck the thing!
Oh, now what did the thing ever do to you?
Come on, let's go and clobber the creep.
They keep walking as even the camera starts to get sleepy-eyed before one of the Gerrys says this.
Hold on, is this the way we were going?
And this is where the plot really gets into gear.
Now, to Van Sant's credit, he does make some attempts to make Gerry and Gerry appeal to a mainstream audience.
And so they told her to solve it, and she said, burying down the road? And there's this really uncomfortable pause, and Sajak was like, no.
See? A Wheel of Fortune reference. How can this not appeal to middle America?
The best thing you can say about this movie is that it has some great cinematography.
Of course, that's also the best thing I can say about Ken Park.
I hate you.
I conquered Thebes.
I didn't stay, though. I only stopped to pick up 5 corpses. Yeah, long story.
Such a Gerry. I ruled this land for 97 years. I had all the sanctuaries built.
Oh, it's a video game.
And so, when they attacked me, they just dogged me, and I actually went to send my army out to defend the city, and like you can only send them out if you have 12. If you have 12 trained horses, and I had 11. So, I was 1 horse shy.
What kind of stupid system is that? You can't send out a battalion unless that battalion is full? I mean, sure, it's probably strategically ill-advised, and believe me, I'm not a huge fan of the Stack of Death, but still, military history is full of suicidal charges, and you should be able to replicate that in a game. Man, Sid Meier's getting senile. What were we talking about? Ah, yes, walking.
All right. You go to that one. I'll go to this one.
You know, a lot of this wouldn't be so bad if the movie just had a decent soundtrack. Like now.
Or now.
That kind of works.
But amidst all this silent walking around, something actually kind of, sort of, happens.
Come on, dude, let's go.
I can't. Fucking marooned.
How the fuck did you get up here?
So Affleck got himself marooned on a giant rock with no way to get down. So how will they ever solve this problem?
Alright, I'll jump.
No. You're right, you're gonna twist an ankle or something, and then we're fucked.
Did you make me a dirt mattress?
No, Gerry. All right, where do you want it?
Right there.
All right.
So while they're doing that, let's talk about Gus Van Sant for a minute.
Gus Van Sant is more than capable of making accessible, entertaining work once he gets his hands on some decent subject matter. Good Will Hunting raises a lot of interesting questions about intelligence and what the gifted owe to the society that raised them. Hell, I actually knew a guy who proposed to his girlfriend after they saw Milk together.
But that doesn't mean that Van Sant is completely averse from going off his rocker every now and then.
There's that one time he made a movie that hinged entirely on Uma Thurman having giant thumbs. Then there was that infamous shot-for-shot remake of Psycho, its meticulousness outmatched only by its pointlessness. Then there's this movie. Roger Ebert once reported that upon meeting Van Sant, he asked him why he did the Psycho remake. Van Sant replied, "So that no one else would have to."
I assume that's why Van Sant made a movie that's nothing but walking through the desert. So no one else would have to. Making the world a better place? Whatever. Are they done yet? Ah, good.
By the way, the entire 9-minute sequence is made up of only 4 shots.
Yeah.
Another potential plot point peeks around the corner when the Gerrys find animal tracks. They figure the animals would know a source of water in the area, but they have doubts about following them. Why?
What if we go to the mating grounds, you know, and they see us and they get self-conscious and then they don't mate?
Dude, we'll just...
And then they won't get thirsty.
Matt Damon went to Harvard, you know.
So they follow the tracks until they can't follow the tracks anymore. This summer, Damon in The Bourne Monotony, rated PG-13. Then we get a shot of them walking. And walking. And walking.
You know, their walking is pretty synchronized.
Dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da 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 da. Rebel, rebel, you've torn your dress. Do rebel, rebel, your face is a mess. And sound of silver, talk to me, makes you wanna feel like a teenager. Do you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? I'm gonna fight 'em off, do. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back, do. It's getting better all the time. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason, 'cause I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more. They're still going! So they've gone to a field. Is there some field music we can use?
Good on you if you know that piece.
Ha! Now they're climbing a mountain. Oh, this one's easy.
Now, I can't do this the whole movie. There has to be another way to kill time. Let's see what the pro critics have to say about this.
Peter Travers, Rolling Stone. Arty exercise that strands Damon and Affleck in a desert with little to say and do except lose themselves in an existential wasteland of doomed beauty. Okay, descriptive. Jay Huberman, Village Voice. An anxious movie object that might well wonder whether its minimalist aspiration is a matter of ambitious purity or empty pretense. It's more like it. Oh, my favorite one. Stephen Hunter, Washington Post. They reach the top of the mountain and see absolutely nothing. This upsets them.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
David Mamet did some work on the script, I see.
There are some clouds, they walk at night, they walk the next day.
You know, this film needs a symbol. Something visually concrete that captures the film as a whole. Something that evokes, desolation, barrenness. Like a crowded room after somebody told a bad joke.
Tumbleweeds. Perfect.
We gotta be fucking close to the highway.
But we had veered off at a different point, and then when we started to go back, we started back the exact same way.
Oh my god, the score came back!
We could have just been, there were so many just different Jerrys along the way.
So we were going east. Alright, which is a total Jerry.
In the morning we
definitely walked north again. And then we jerried off to the animal tracks.
We were going east, and we walked east for a long time.
And our mountain scout about was east, so we totally jerried the mountain scout.
Jerry.
Wait a sec.
Gerry is Damon's name, Gerry is Affleck's name, and Gerry is a term for screwing up.
So, Gerry is basically Smurf.
These long shots make you think really deep things about the characters. Like, is that a zit growing at the end of Affleck's nose, or is it just shaped like that?
You know what? We need a break from this. Here's a cockatoo dancing to bad hip-hop. Alright, break over, back to work. The Book of Exodus had less wandering through the desert!
Okay, there's one bit that has something only mildly interesting. It looks like they're going to meet a third character and it's a mirage, but Gerry Affleck knows where the car is, and Damon is walking in this movie is making my brain leak out onto my shoulders and run on sentences and... God damn it!
Come on, stay awake, stay awake.
Another night passes. They camp for the night and they head out before the next sunrise. Okay, this shot is clearly going to go on for a while.
So let's just minimize it for now, and we'll talk about something else. Oh, don't worry about them. They'll be going. Hi, guys! Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about a performance theorist named Robert Wilson.
Robert Wilson originally started his career in architecture before moving on to dance and theater. He used this background to create a very unique formalism in his theatrical productions. Ever heard the saying, writing about music is like dancing about architecture? Well, Wilson was doing just that. One of his best-known productions was the original staging of Philip Glass's revolutionary, mathematically structured minimalist opera, Einstein on the Beach, a production which lasted 5 hours with no intermission. Actions were repeated ad infinitum as slowly moving set pieces entered the scene, while the music was structured in the same way, built as an endlessly repeating set of a few phrases. Another production of his, Deaf Man Glance, had a similar structure. The first act consisted of a woman giving her daughter and 2 sons milk, tucking them into bed, and then stabbing them both, wiping the blade clean. A shocking scene in its own right, but made even more disturbing when performed, taking a full hour to complete in slow motion.
Now there is a method to this madness. Robert Wilson did some work with 2 young boys, one a deaf mute and the other with a strong case of autism. They were both partially cut off from the world, one through sense and the other through understanding.
In working with them, Wilson developed a theory of screens. People have an exterior screen made up of sensory input, but they also have an interior screen, which forms dreams and fantasies. The boys he worked with had well-developed interior screens, which Wilson tried to invoke in his productions. By doing things like performing acts in agonizing slow motion, building movement structures on endless repetition, Wilson hoped to bring the audience to their interior screens.
Now the goal of Robert Wilson's work is to take the audience beyond boredom, beyond anger with the boredom, and into a less conscious state where the interior screen takes over. And I think that's what Van Sant is trying to do here. He's trying to bore us into nirvana. Okay, done. Let's see what they're doing now.
They're still going, aren't they? Well, fuck. I'd love to think that there was at least one take where Affleck just turns to the camera, yells psych, runs up to Damon and tackles him.
How do you think the hike's going so far?
That wasn't funny at all, but any semblance of a joke is appreciated.
Hey, pointless sex! I feel like I'm at home. Oh, wait, no, Damon is strangling Affleck. Yeah, the reason he does this is because those guys in real life did it. You remember, this is based on a true story, which is about things that happen in newspapers and real life. Wait. Does real life exist? Who's the president? What does water taste like? There's another sped-up shot of a car, which makes me wish the entire movie was filmed at this speed. And then Jerry Damon sees the highway and walks toward it like he has a full diaper. Then he's suddenly in some strange guy's car, just pops in there. The scenery outside moves on by, and then the movie crashes.
Wow. That was the most audaciously boring thing ever put on celluloid. That was like watching paint dry. Oh, no. That was like going to Monument Valley, painting the entire damn thing green, and then watching that paint dry.
Now, I hate to admit it, but the film does one thing amazingly right. You really feel like you're lost in a desert. The scenery is repetitive, the sound's vacant. You wander aimlessly, every minute spent praying that the end will come. It will come when you reach the finish, or it will come with your own death. Hell, at some points you even begin to feel a little dehydrated from this movie.
And should you emerge alive, you spend every waking minute wishing that you had never taken that wrong turn, or pushed that play button and been dropped into a vast wasteland, traumatized by the void that you were plunged into, and may never escape. I'm going to make some tea.
Hey, it's Lupa. I don't know how long Owen is going to run this shot, so, I hacked into his feed and I'm trying to cut to the end credits. I'm having some problems because I'm not a big computer person.
Have you tried simply cutting his power?
Well, I can't affect his hardware from where I am. I'm only going through his hard drive. I'm trying to find, like, an end process command for the video player, but I don't know if he's just using Windows Media or an FLV player that... Wait, who am I talking to?
I've just asked because I'm trying to black out his entire area by hacking into the servers for his local power grid. Unfortunately, he lives in Washington, D.C. area, and as you can imagine, it's pretty highly protected.
Well, I don't want to... Hold on, is this a minion?
Minion, ignore her. Keep trying to initiate a blackout, and if that fails, we can always just hack into NORAD, disable their defenses, and nuke Washington! And if that fails, I'll go to Owen's house personally and make him eat his own body from the waist down.
Nah, let him live. I mean, he's the only other guy I can talk about cinematography with. Say, is the wireless connection slow for anyone else?
Derek, you too?
Yep.
You're trying to screw around with Owen's tech.
Yes, ma'am.
You spent the last several weeks wrestling your own technical difficulties into the ground, and you're trying to tackle someone else's show?
Well, I figured since my show's been so screwed up, it'd be nice to see someone else's episode collapse for once. Hey, is there any way we can splice a dead baby into this movie?
It's alright, I have his process tree up, and I think I know how to stop the feed.
Apollo? I thought you were retconned out of existence. You sound good.
Yes, you sound surprisingly existent.
I'll explain later. I've used my reviewer powers to break into his hard drive, and I have access to his task manager. Now, does anyone know what editing program he uses?
Oh, I hacked his program files. He uses Premiere.
Don't help him! I've always wanted an excuse to nuke a major world capital, and now I have a shot at Washington, D.C., and I will not let anyone fuck this up for me!
Diamanda, I know Gerry is a soul-melting pile of bantha poodoo, but there's no frackin' reason to kill innocent people over it.
Hack, for once in your life, say fuck instead of frack, you cycloptic cunt stain!
Oh, hey, I found the folder where he keeps all of his censorship images. I'm going to change them all to a picture of Tipper Gore.
Mistress, I found out that he's running Adobe Premiere Elements 8.0. I've gotten access to it.
Elements? Frack, what a cheapskate.
Minion, why aren't you hacking into NORAD?
Who cares? The shot is still going. I'm already getting Gerry flashbacks. Just make it cut to the end credits before I put my head through the wall.
Alright, I'm making the cuts right now.
Wait, hold on, I got this.
Oh god, not more Gerry. No, Gerry flashbacks. Oh god. Come on, guys, turn it off. No.
Every time I hit this button, a squirrel pops into my room.
It's a dank